Hey, hello, collective. This is Chan from Artemis Oracle doing impromptu reading. I can't be on for too long because I'm heading out soon. Okay, so I wanted to do a full moon and Capricorn reading and just see what messages you need to know. This full moon in Capricorn is going to be taking place on Monday, June 29th. And I just want to get started with the reading. We know Capricorn is an earth sign and it's associated with the devil card in tarot. But nonetheless, the first card we have here is the end of a tough cycle approaches with full moon and Capricorn. I hope you can see that. The light is kind of bright. So full moon and Capricorn. The full moon in Capricorn has a very strong work ethic and energy. I will more than likely come up when you're asking a professional question. If your question is about another matter, it will serve as much needed reminder to move through any feelings of hopelessness you may have been feeling about your situation, and this applies no matter when you draw the card. Making a plan is a far better use of your time. Hey Shantae, how are you? So the other message is, how hard are you willing to work for what you want? This card is reminding you that effort is required. Work issues may be about to come to a head when this card comes up. If you're wondering if you should stay in your job or leave, this card can be a strong sign to make an exit. This card can be the end of a rough time is forecast. This card also asks you to consider how ambitious you are and whether you're prepared to pull out all the stops to make your professional dreams come true without being ruthless. With a love question, this card can be a call to face reality. Whatever situation you're asking about, making a plan will help. If your personal life is troubled, prioritize it more. So this is about some sort of cycle maybe coming to an end, whether it's a relationship, it's you leaving a job. It could be just any difficult situation that you're facing, but it's also calling for you to reflect on what are you willing to do to make something work? Are you willing to put in the energy, the time, the effort, or is this something that you should just simply walk away from? Also, if it comes to work, are you willing to, like I said, put in the work, time and energy, the effort? But how can you do so without becoming ruthless? How can you make sure that you achieve your goal without cutting other people down in the process? Now, the next card we have is the full moon in Capricorn. Take a reality check. Oh, I went straight to that. That's interesting. Okay. This card has two sides to it, literally and metaphorically. If you've been worrying about something, the good news is that you shouldn't waste another moment worrying, as this won't help. Some things only happen once, and that can be really good news. If you're wondering about how something you're keen on is going to turn out, this card could be a sign that you've hit a roadblock. If you want to change that, you're going to need to put in extra effort with your manifesting power. And manifesting work, sorry. And it says finding a balance between facing your reality and being kind to yourself and others, especially if you're trying to manifest something. Manifesting mindset. If you're not happy with the message of this card, use the old trick of finding the best thought you can think about your situation and go from there. So it's like we could be going through difficult situations, stuff that we're not happy about, that we don't like, but then we got to find some sort of nugget of optimism within it, that may be a stretch for some situations, It has the manifesting affirmation. Everything is always working out in my favor. Everything is always working out in my favor. You have to think that, even when things are getting tough, they're becoming difficult, challenging. The challenge, is it coming from the situation itself or your approach? Is there a need to change your approach with something? Are you continuing to work on something the same way without changing, tweaking where needed, Because, we could go through similar situations or challenges, right? But they're not always going to be handled the same way. They can't be. Because there might be certain things that make those situations different, that require it to be handled in a different way than you usually would handle something, So I kind of wanted to stick to that. But then since full moons are about releasing and, reflecting, evaluating, say, like if you set an intention during the new moon, what was it, in Gemini? If you set an intention This is the time to reflect on what has transpired with that intention. Do you see any changes? Do you see any movement? Do you see like you're getting closer to that goal? If there was a goal, has anything improved, or has things become worse? And this midpoint between now, the new moon now, with the full moon going to be in Capricorn, and then the next new moon that we're going to have in Cancer, it's like you have to think about, okay, if this is the intention you set in the new moon in Gemini, is this something that you still want to continue working towards? Is this something that you should continue putting your efforts towards? Is this something that still aligns with you? If it is, what changes can you see have made towards making progress? Or what changes do you need to make so that in the next moon's phase, which is the new moon in Cancer, I believe that's going to be in July 16th or 17th. What changes can you make? It's July 17th, 7/17. 7/17 may be significant to someone. I know I see that number a lot, but I just realized July is the 7th month, and the 17th may be when we have that new moon in Cancer. So that could be somebody's birthday. So when we talk about releasing what doesn't serve you, you see what works, what doesn't work, because it's like, since the full moon is going to be illuminated, the moon is fully illuminated. Whatever your intention was, whatever your manifestation wish, whatever it was, or there could be just certain things outside of some intention that you set that are going to be coming to light. Things that are going to be revealed to you about yourself, about your situation, about a person, about work, whatever the situation could be. But I want to see with the power surrender cards, what it is that you need to surrender. Remember, all the messages may not resonate with everyone. So take the messages that do and leave behind the rest. So the power surrender card, we got one card here. So it's either something you need to surrender or something you need to surrender to. So surrender low self-esteem. You deserve success, love, and abundance. Set an intention to identify and release any remnants of low self-esteem. So there may be some of you who may be dealing with issues about how you feel about yourself, whether you're worthy of receiving something or deserving of being loved, appreciated, a promotion, a raise, something, whatever it is you want, because that residual energy, that low vibrational energy, because it's low self-esteem is not good, because we should all feel good about ourselves. I know we have those moments. I'm a human too. I experienced that myself, where we don't feel like we are at our best, but that's normal. We're not always going to feel at our best. We're going to have our lows, we're going to have our highs, and we're going to have our midpoints. But the whole point is never allow yourself to stay too long in the low points. The low points are supposed to be points of you reflecting and learning something from that experience. Whatever is going on that's having you at that low point, see what's going on. Is it something environmentally? Is it something internally? Is it a situation itself? You got to reflect on that. But the thing is, do not stay in this energy for too long. We should be optimistic. Of course, even during our most challenging times. And I know sometimes it's not the easiest when you're in the thick of it, and I will never tell you to act like everything's sunshine and rainbows and butterflies if it's not, because if it isn't, then you have to handle it. You need to deal with it. You need to work with it, find solutions, so that you can get to a better place. A situation can get to a better place, or a situation that you're like, okay, it's time for me to release this because it's not working out for me, So with this card, is like looking at the positive. If it's about definitely about self-esteem. So look at the positive traits that you already have within you, all the positive traits, everything that you've overcome, your strength, your beauty, your intellect, your humor, your kindness, your generosity, any and all positive trait about you, who you are as a person. And use that as a reminder of why you are worthy, why you should feel good about yourself, why you should be proud of yourself, and why you do deserve to have good things, why you deserve to receive good things, experience good things, despite whatever else is going on around you. What else? So if you're new to my channel, my name is Tan. Artemis Oracle is my channel. I'm an Oracle and Tarot card reader. Oh, surrender your ego. This one hits because hi, I'm undergoing a battle with my ego. Cultivate gratitude. Be of service to others and come from your heart. A big ego can work against you, but humility will further your goals. You know, sometimes you got to step out of yourself and start to look toward outwards. You know, this card is asking for you to look inwards, you know, for you to realize that you are worthy, you deserve good things, but your ego could be a part of why the self-esteem issue is popping up in this reading right now. You know, you may be having certain thoughts. And sometimes I'm going to tell you from my own experience, when I have those negative thoughts, it's like it's not towards other people, but more for myself, where I feel like I have to overcompensate in a way to prove myself, you know, but also it's like kind of like a reminder that, yeah, I'm not this person. I do deserve to be happy. I deserve to have good things, all the stuff that I was saying to you. But the ego could be like, no, you know, trying to hold you back from success, hold you back from happiness, hold you back from taking risks that may be beneficial to you because of that fear. Ego is tied to fear, you know, ego is tied to fear. So what is it that you fear? What is it that you fear that's holding you back? Our ego is meant to protect us because it's our brain. It's looking at situations that it believes it could be a harm to us, could be detrimental to us. But sometimes it holds us back. So what is it that is holding you back? Is your ego telling you you're not worthy, that you don't deserve success, love, or abundance? No. Look at what you do for other people. Because it says be of service to others. So what do you do for other people? That shows you that you are worthy. That shows you that you should be experiencing abundance and success in your life because you show up as that. Sometimes we need to be reminded of that, you know? But the card does say set an intention to identify and release any remnants of low self-esteem. But also be humble too, because sometimes when you feel like you're lacking something, you could start to develop feelings of jealousy over what other people have, thinking that it can't be something you can't have, but why can't you have it? Is it because of how you see yourself, or, you know, are you not doing the work? Are you not putting in the effort? You know, sometimes people have things that we want, but are you willing to do what they did to get it? That's the question you have to ask yourself. Sometimes it looks easy. Like people get things like they don't have to work hard for it, but you don't know what they were doing on the other side of that. So if there's something that you want, are you willing to work for it? You know, are you willing to put in the work? I don't know why I felt like saying that. We'll look at this card about surrender to the beauty of the natural world. Take a relaxing break and spend time in nature. Replenish yourself by feeling the beauty and the ecstasy there. So this is like the grounding card. You know, sometimes you have to reconnect to the earth and detach yourself from this, like, from your life, in the sense that you're not focusing on what's going on inside your head, what's going on inside your heart, you know, everything that's going wrong, everything that seems to be a challenge, an obstacle to you. But this is about you centering yourself, grounding yourself, and realizing, yeah, this is the stuff that we all humans go through, but, you know, we could overcome it, you know. But the thing is, it's like, don't allow yourself to get overwhelmed by it. Take a break. This is saying, take a break. Reconnect to nature, because we are a part of nature. We come from nature, you know. Center and ground yourself is what I'm getting from that card. Okay, let's see. When I want to go into the inner child deck, which is usually what I like to do for the full moon readings anyway. But when I look at the surrender, low self-esteem, our egos and our self-esteem are what is developed during our childhood. And even as we continue on through adolescence and young adulthood, you know, that what we experience is what shapes our ego, our identities, but also how we value ourselves. So I want to see what the inner child deck has to say. What messages does the collective need to know? Connect to eternity within. Let yourself be held by love. I think I'm going to get the book for that one. A time to remember. Look back on your childhood. You have the number 9 and the number 1. Number 1 is the beginning, where it all started. Number 9 is like when you think about numerology, number 9 is the end. Let me see. I know this has a book. Yes. Lots of, like, am I losing my mind? Right. Number 9. Connect to eternity within. Within us lies hundreds of worlds, thousands of lives, and millions of possibilities. We are infinite, stretching forever into the expanse of the universe. As beings of stardust and sunfire, we carry eternity within us. It is in our remembrance of our essence that we find stillness and a peace that extends past the borders of time. If you have pulled this card, it is time to connect with that eternity once more. Take some time today to go into your inner worlds and connect with the expanse of the divine. I like how that kind of coincides with the natural world, because we are connected to the earth. We are connected to this world. We're connected to the stars, the sun, the moon. But then in order to connect to that, it's like you have to take a break. And this is what I was saying, we'll take a break. This is grounding yourself, centering yourself, being with yourself, being one with yourself. And remember, the ego and self-esteem is about the self, is about the self. We forget who we are. We need to be reminded of that. And it's funny that the time to remember, look back on your childhood, which is number 1, the beginning of it all. A photograph can be a powerful tool when working with our inner selves, as it can bring to the present the memories and feelings associated with our childhood. This can be an especially beneficial practice, particularly when working through harmful patterns or beliefs that we might have regarding our childhood self. It's so funny that it mentions pictures here. I'm going to tell you the exercise. Gather multiple photographs of your younger self. Reflect on each one that you feel most drawn to. Once you have your photograph, take some time to gaze at the image, observing yourself in a neutral and non-judgmental way. Try to think of yourself as you would think of any other child, as a precious treasure, separate from any memories of who you were then and who you are now. It's interesting. Now that you have this viewpoint in your mind, bring a feeling of love into your heart. Hold a photograph in front of you and let this love build up inside you for your childhood self. Send the love you feel inside of your heart to the picture of your younger self. Tell yourself that you love yourself and that you are perfect just the way you are. Whatever it is that little you is yearning to hear, tell yourself in a voice of love. I love that, because I don't really share pictures of myself when I was younger, but there's this picture I keep of myself. And I don't want to show it, but this is me when I was a little girl. That's little tan right there. And whenever I'm going through something difficult and I feel like I've messed up, I made mistakes, I will look at that picture, And I had to remember that little girl is me. That little girl still exists. She still exists inside of me. Like the child that you were still exists inside of you, And that's a way of reconnecting to our true self, the parts of ourselves where we were very innocent, where we were curious, when we had imagination. We didn't have that much fear. We were uninhibited. Like we weren't trapped by expectations and stuff like that, the way we are now as adults, Is that innocent part of us that still exists, The parts of us, even the parts that were harmed, mistreated, neglected. I'm using different words to explain harm. But remember who you were as a child and who you are now. Reflect on everything you've experienced and be proud of yourself. But also you know, those times that you're being hard on yourself, remember that child that exists inside of you and be kind to that part of yourself. Because when you're being mean to yourself, you're being mean to your little version of you too. And the little you doesn't deserve that. And neither do you. Okay? I never thought I'd be sharing a picture of myself as a little girl, but I had to. It's good to have those pictures just to remind yourself of who you were and who you still are. It's still that child, that part of us will always exist. That's where some of our wounds, deepest wounds, may have stemmed from our childhood. Okay, so speak to yourself with love. Now I'm going into the Whispers of Love Oracle deck. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the likes. I hope everyone's having a great Saturday so far. I'm over here in New York City. I'm going to be heading out soon. But let me see. What message does the collective need to know for Whispers of Love? Whispers of Love. Whispers of Love message. Have patience. Love is patient and kind. So remember to always be patient and kind to yourself. And that patience and kindness that you always extend to other people, you should always extend that to yourself. You should always be giving that to yourself, you know? I know sometimes we think that because we're adults that we're supposed to know everything, that we should know better. But the thing is, it's not like that. If you're doing something new, you're experiencing something new and unfamiliar to you, it's going to be a process. And you have to be patient with yourself and the process as you're going along, whatever it is that you're doing that's new. Don't expect to be perfect. Don't expect to get everything right. Give yourself as much grace as you would a child. And I love using this analogy. Like when you see a baby learning how to walk, do you call the baby a loser because it fell? No, the baby's learning how to walk. If you're doing something that you're learning for the first time and you mess up, remember, you're that baby learning how to walk. Okay, so be kind and patient to yourself. Don't rush the process, you know, enjoy the process. Go through the process of whatever new journey you're experiencing. And I'm talking about something that's, you know, positive. Even could be something challenging. Be patient with yourself. Be kind to yourself during that challenge, that obstacle, whatever it is that you're dealing with, because it could be different things. It could be good or it could be negative. It could be neutral. But the whole point is be patient and kind to yourself. If you're patient and kind to other people, be patient. Do that for yourself. Be patient and kind to yourself. And like I said, remember that inner child. Remember your child, the child version of yourself. You know, that number 17. It's funny because at one point I had 17 people here, and then I mentioned 17. I need to find out when that new moon in Cancer is. Okay, 31. Love makes a difference. Love helps heal past hurts and provides a sense of security and self-worth. Look at that. Surrender low self-esteem. Love helps heal past hurts and provides a sense of security and self-worth. Always be kind to yourself, and love makes a difference. Look at yourself with loving eyes. Hold yourself with loving arms. Even you could also extend this to other people too. Be patient with other people, be kind, especially if you find yourself you haven't been that way, you know. But also if there's something you're going through. But I feel like this is more personal. But whenever we have issues with self-worth, they kind of coincide with things attached to people in certain situations, right? So let's make sure that we're not doing anything to other people to make them not value themselves or make them think less of themselves. You know, because we could be our own monsters, and some of them may be experiencing that themselves, that insecurity, that lack of self-worth, lack of self-esteem. And we don't want to be basically piling on them, you know, because you never know what other people are going through. So it's not always about us. We should also consider other people. to a certain extent, where we're not overextending ourselves, where we're not being taken advantage of. But this is about just simple human decency and compassion, you know? And the last card we have, 42. Rest and relaxation is essential. We all have a fundamental need to take a break. So some of you definitely need to consider taking a break, especially if you've been working hard on something. You deserve to sleep. You deserve to rest. You know, don't let your ego have you overworking or overdoing things just to prove yourself, you know, just to prove your worth. You deserve to take a break. Don't feel like just because you take a break, that makes you lazy. No, that means you're human. You need to replenish your energy. What do you do with a reusable battery, a rechargeable battery when it dies? You plug it into that little charging station and let it recharge. That's you. You're that rechargeable battery. You need to recharge. Okay, so if that some of you need to hear that, there's your message. Take a break. Okay, you need to recharge. You need to rest, relax, recharge. Even if you've been working on something and you've experienced some sort of level of success, even if it's small, remember, success happens incrementally, you know, it happens over time. And whatever small success that you have achieved, take time to bask in that. You know, don't be like, okay, now I finished that. Now this is the next step. No, be proud of yourself. Savor that little success that you experienced. And I don't say little like to demean it or devalue it or to minimize it. I'm saying it's because it's a small success. It may, in your eyes, it may be seen as a small success, but it's success nonetheless. And you should appreciate it. You should savor it. You should be, you know, be proud of yourself before you move on to the next point. Because if you're working towards something that's like a major goal, you want to enjoy the process. You know, you want to enjoy every moment of the process. And that's what allows you to appreciate it even more. Appreciate the journey, appreciate yourself, appreciate your perseverance, your work ethic, your endurance, your commitment to something. That's something that needs to be celebrated too. I felt like I had to add that in to that message. So that was the message I wanted to share today. I hope it was helpful in some way or another. If it was, please like, share, and subscribe to Artemis Oracle. My name is Tan. I am your reader, and I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day wherever you are. And I look forward to seeing you hopefully tomorrow. Okay, everybody, take care. Bye. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you.